Peter or Susan, you have the issue in front of you. So can you just read that headline if you have that?
The epicenter. As winter turned to spring, the coronavirus hit a corner of Queens harder than almost anywhere else in the United States. Thousands fell ill, hundreds died, and a nation was put on alert. It was here.
Yeah, it's a special 16-page edition of the Epicenter. If anyone just searches Epicenter New York Times, you'll find that, and they have a special online treatment that will just show to everyone. Here's what it looks like. This is here's what she just read, and then look at how it's displayed here online. And Peter, if you have any comments on the way they take your print stories and are able to do this stuff online, I would love to hear those too.
This is a classic example I was talking about at the beginning about how the same story, the same package can look so different and evocative in different ways in print versus online. Right? You can do things online now, obviously, we've never been able to do journalistically, just visually and capturing your attention, and then translate. Usually that's now the first way we look at it, and it's translating into print that's now the second way. You know what I mean? I don't know how this particular story was put together, but my guess is the first thought they had was, how is it going to look? How are we going to package it online? How are we going to present this to our readers? What can we do is creative and different and exciting online? And then once we've done that, how do you make that work in print, which doesn't have the same obvious, technological bells and whistles that you're allowed, that you can take advantage of in your website? And I think both of them look great in very different ways, and both of them, again, draw in the reader in very different ways. And sometimes I find it easier to read it in print because it's just laid out right in front of you. But there are times I look at it and I say, well, I'd rather read this online, actually, because I do really enjoy the interactive almost nature of it.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what makes this special. So this is called the Epicenter, and I want to take this opportunity also to mention that our friend Mitra Kalita, formerly of CNN, has launched a newsletter called Epicenter-NYC, which is covering the Epicenter. So once you read the New York Times section, if you want to understand how to help folks who are dealing with this, it's two completely different projects, but it's called Epicenter-NYC. .com, and people can take a look at that. So I think they will learn a lot about what is happening with the crisis in New York, and that's what we wanted to see. Let's see what else is on the camera.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. You can hear me now? Great. Sorry about that. And we'll just switch the paper back there. So did you cover the whole section, Sree?
Yeah, we did. I just want to mention that Dan Barry was with Annie Correal were the authors of this section, and Neil will tell us more about it. Dan was a guest on our show when we paid tribute to Jim Dwyer, so it's just nice to see Dan's work again featured in this special section. Go ahead, Neil.
And the photography as well is in particular, but what I want to do is to point out, in particular, if we start with the beginning, it's the lead that was really significant. And I want to give a shout out. The photography is by Todd Heisler, and the Wayne Kamidoi, our friend, did the layout in the print edition. But just to focus on the lead, if you didn't have a chance to do that, she wears a red wig and a black dress she sewed herself. It hugs her body as she moves about the stage, lip-syncing love songs in Spanish, to a room filled mostly with absence. It's just incredible, and it's an incredible look at 5 neighborhoods in Queens. There's a map here, if you saw that online, looking at Jackson Heights, East Elmhurst, Woodside, and ironically enough, Corona, one of the neighborhoods in Queens, which is very strange. It looks closely at these 6 portraits of how coronavirus affected their lives and their families. But I mean, it's dated at the top. If you see Friday, March 20th, perfect for contagion. That's what it says on the headline. Just dominant pictures, a lot of white space, which is also good. I've seen more of that in the Times lately, especially in the home section. But then a big spread picture like that. if you can see. This is March 29th. This is when, this is, Todd has been embedded in that sense in Queens, in these neighborhoods for the past 7 months. And this is the result of that work, just in terms of photography and the storytelling. And again, I think, Peter, you made this point earlier when we first started talking about this, the special print sections that the New York Times is doing. In this case, it's also beautiful online, and you saw that, you walked through that in terms of the digital experience.